can kind of see. It looks like it's going to be harder for you to see at a distance. I'm really hoping it's remotely visible. I just don't have any other way to set up my camera right now. I almost wonder if I could do and partially open, and if that would help the camera quality or not. But I think it's just going to slide back in. We'll see. I'm trying a new thing, is sprinkling, so I don't want to leave. I don't like the idea of leaving my phone exposed, but we'll just see. But I'm gonna start doing some groundwork with my horse to get him ready. He hasn't been worked in approximately 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be riding him with a bareback pad, so it might not go well. And we'll just see how he does. But I'm gonna go get him. I'm gonna get my flag, and I'll come to this end. The arena is flooded, so we'll try to stay on either this end or that end. But I'm gonna try to keep to this end because he likes to rest over on that end. But like I said, you might see me gone on that side and on this side, and I might not be able to answer very many questions while I'm live doing this. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear me. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see me, but this is my first time doing this. Hi there. Also, the neighbors scream a lot. They have a dog that barks constantly, so I'm sorry for that in advance. They're a little scary, I'll be honest. But anyway, I'm gonna go get Julio and get my flag, and we'll get started on some of this. Alright, let's see how you do today. I haven't worked you in a minute. Sorry for that. If I could change the color, I would. Nice to see you. Shaking your head. Please try not to see me more. Okay? And we'll just see where you're at mentally. Oh man, is it still going? Color me shocked. Hi everyone. So this is Julio. He is a 4-year-old appendix quarter horse, and today we're going to do a little bit of groundwork and see if we can't ride him a little bit. Did you put another hole in your head? Why would you do that? He says, because I'm not very bright, Mom, that's why. There we go. What do you do? Pick a scab. Oh, we'll just see how he's doing. Good boy. I like that he's not pulling on me yet. Good boy. Really soft today on that. So this is the side he likes. There we go. He likes to pull a little bit. So I just bump him a little. And then when we lose forward, I bug him until he goes forward again. Leave him alone. There we go. All we're working on is him responding to the rope and responding to the whip, or in this case, flag. If he invades my space like that, I flick the rope so that he jumps out of my space, because he's learned to buffalo people a little bit, and I'm not buffaloed. He has to move out of my space. So this side, you see, his biggest issue is going to be trying to run into people. But on this side, he's really good about staying off of my hand. You know, that other side, you can see him kind of bulging out and trying to lean on me. And this side, he's pretty good about, like, if I apply pressure back to his hind end and I start walking towards it, he kind of starts coming in a little bit. So there, he lost him. And so what I'm trying to teach him is, if I walk towards his hind end, he needs to move his hind end away. does know what that means there. So he moves his hind end away and comes to me. So he's better on this side than the other side. Very good. So before he couldn't even do that because the guy just taught him to flip people off and say no. He is flicking his tail a little bit, which tells me he's a little frustrated, which is okay, because we just have to work through that frustration a little bit. Good boy. And best way to work through that frustration is to just kind of keep asking him for stuff, but not being too picky, because he's still a baby, and he's been taught a lot of wrong things and not a lot of right things. So here, when he gets a little heavy on my hand, I'm just going to bump him a little bit. And then, so bump, release, keep him going. Bump, release, keep him going. Bump, release, keep him going. Sometimes they're going to happen at about the same time, because all I'm working on is, hey, get off my hand. So this side, we need to do a lot more work on. And there, disengaging that hind end, because he doesn't want to fold his hind end over for me. Good boy. That's the first time he's actually done it, and done it well. He's got a nice scab on his forehead. Decided to put a hole in his head. So now we'll do this side. And what I really like to see, and you guys can't see, is that I have this little spot right here that I've worn down from taking like a step and pivoting on this foot. I haven't had to walk around to get him to go and do one of these and follow him. I've been able to stay in my spot. He's like, what were you doing? I stay in my spot and he moves around me. Now, when I do leave my little circle here, notice how I don't add a pressure too aggressively too. I only add a pressure aggressively if he's being aggressive. Like, that was pretty aggressive. Why? Because it was towards his face. But he was trying to run me over. He's a chronic runner over. So I'm going to move to his hip, say, hey, hold it over. Good. See, now he's kind of thinking, and he knows that's what I'm looking for, so he's offering it more. Good boy. Good boy. And he does not, so that licking and chewing that you saw is a release for horses, and he doesn't do that very often. So I'm really, really happy that he did. I'm gonna see if anybody's left any important comments or if it's all trash. It's probably all trash. Thanks, Ruben. No, he's not gonna kick me. He has kicked people before. He's never kicked me. I'm pretty careful though. So I apologize if the sound's not good, and I apologize if the visual's not very good. I kind of rednecked my setup right now. But I'm just trying to get a little bit of video of training him, because I haven't had video of training him and I don't know how long, because I'm always out here alone. But we will work on the next thing, and this he might kick me, so enjoy the show. So what we're gonna work on is moving his hindquarters over, moving his shoulder over, and then moving his whole body over. So doing a side pass. Thank you, Jay. Is it JRE Clippings? Thank you. It is 45 right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll start that. He's done all these exercises, so don't let him fool you and say he hasn't. For this exercise, I'm either gonna use my flag shorter, because I don't want him to kick me, or I'm gonna use the butt of my flag. Sorry. Normally I flip it the other way. I got him that time. We'll work on that too today. So what I'm gonna work on is there. That's all I want. I don't know how well, you probably can't see yet. When we get turned around, you might see more. I'll try and pull out. All I'm looking for is that hind end to go that way, away from me. So that end needs to go that way. So I'm just gonna pick this up. That's saying don't move your front end into me. Perfect. Because he does get overstimulated, or whatever you want to call it, overexcited, overworried, we're taking it slower than I normally would, and we're rewarding smaller steps than I normally would. Most horses, by the time, what he's at, I would have them able to do a whole circle pivoting on the hind end, but he's not mentally there yet because he's, you know, he got trained wrong, he got taught all the wrong things, and he's pretty fearful. Like he's a pretty big blower upper, so we want to try to make it small enough pieces he's going to understand what we're working on. So hand up means don't come at me. So he tried to push on me and I just pushed his head back. There. Just a little tap on the bum. Say, hey, move over. Good. So we've never slowed down and done this really, really slow like this. Most of the time I make him do it pretty quick. So I don't mind if he adjusts his front feet. He just can't walk on top of me. And if he walks on top of me, you'll see me switch to moving his front end over pretty quickly. So I don't mind him readjusting, beautiful. So like that, very respectful. I don't mind that. I'm gonna make it a little harder. I'm gonna have less contact. So I'm holding his hand just a little less. That shorter my rein is, good. The more I'm holding his hand and saying, come on, you can do it. Here I'm saying, take a little more responsibility. So that's pretty good, because we've never slowed down and worked on just this part. So he's a little more scared of people on this side. You can tell because he started adjusting before I even got over here. So first thing, for whatever side your horse is more worried on, I'm going to pet him. I'm going to switch sides and I'm going to pet him. You want to just make him realize, hey, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not going to do anything bad. You're safe. All that jazz. So I chose rein again because I want to hold his hand and say it's going to be okay. And then I'm going to put my hand up and I'm going to move my whip. Now, if his end moves away, it's okay. We want to get isolated where he only moves one end. But he's learning. So if he moves both ends, it's not the end of the world. And I'd rather have him move away from me than towards me, which was his usual go-to. So I like that he moved away. So, gave him a little more rein. Beautiful. So I'd rather have him come forward and pivot his hind end a little bit more because he's like backing away from it. But like I said, it's his first time doing it, so we take anything we can get. Now I'm going to work on moving his front end. So for moving his front end, I'm going to take him a little more short. I'm going to take him a little aggressively here. And aggressive doesn't mean mean. Aggressive just means aggressive. So I'm going to grab him like up here because I'm going to be directing his face. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of that. I'm going to pick him up and I'm going to do this. And all I want is that front end to move over. If his hind end moves, that's okay. Got a little lick and chew. Let him rest for a second. All I'm trying to work on is getting the front end to pivot, and then we'll build a pivot from there. So, most of this stuff we've worked on at a higher speed as a correction behavior. So the way I got him, whoa, good boy. The way I got him to not walk forward out of that step is I walked more into him, which pushes him backwards, which I can explain a little bit better maybe once I get back on camera. So I'm going to hold him close to his face, pick both my hands up, and I'm going to say, hey. So he came forward, I'm going to push him back. There, good. Good. And then I let go completely. That's his sign that he's done. I'm going to switch him sides. You're okay. Move your face. Okay. That's cool, Marie. My horse is a gelding. He's a 4-year-old appendix gelding. He's a rescue. He came to me 3-legged, lame, and terrified of people. And we are restarting him from the ground up. Ew, what did you do? Oh, you just got some, oh, you scratched your neck too, or got bit. Thanks, I needed another injury. Hello everybody. But yeah, so he's a 4-year-old, he's an appendix quarter horse, he's a gelding. He came to me with an issue where he would drag people and he'd run people over. he would buck with the saddle on, which we finally gotten to where he won't buck with the saddle on. The only reason I'm riding in a bareback pad today is because it's rainy and wet. Might be a mistake. He hasn't been worked with for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So we're kind of pulling him out of the blue to see how he'll do. I mean, you can buy him. Anyone can buy him. All my horses are always for sale now. But he's got a real sweet face, you know. I mean, if you look, he's got the kindest little eyes. Give him a pat. So pats make him a little more nervous. You can see like his face changed. He likes a little soft petting. Because I think he was hit. So, I think he was hit a lot. Well, if I were to sell him as he is, I'd sell him for probably $4,000 right now. Oh, well, thank you. He is adorable. But yeah, we'll do a little bit more of our groundwork stuff. I was really hoping Equine Edits would show up just because we've talked a few different times about groundwork, and I wanted to show her with a horse. Well, for some horses don't care. Like Marv, you could pat her hard and she knew she was a good girl, but he's a little more sensitive because he's been hit on, literally. So, he's a little more sensitive. Like, you know, if you wave your hand, he now doesn't jump. He used to jump. Believe me, guys. He's a boy. That's why I keep saying he. He's in Michigan. So we're both from Indiana, but we're in Michigan right now. So I'm gonna take him, I'm gonna back up and hopefully stay far enough away that you can see some of what's going on. And maybe what I'll do is I'll move into this corner over here. I don't know. I was trying to decide, can you see? Hey, move over. Thank you. You probably can't see the mounting block, so it doesn't really matter. Because I was gonna show the curbside mount. How much does it cost? It's hard to say. So like some horses are really low maintenance and don't cost a lot to keep. He's been really high maintenance because of the abuse and neglect. So he's been, I mean, I've probably spent a couple, I don't know, maybe $1,000 on feeding him, fixing him, you know, care, supplements, yada, 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 yada. But I'll tell you what, let's see if I can't move you guys over, and then you'll be in I'll be in a drier spot when I film, because I hate working him where it's really wet, but I also am not gonna not work him because he needs to be worked. Let's see if it turns my phone off. Okay, so this is a little drier area, so that way I don't feel so bad trying to work with him. The area we were wasn't terrible, but okay. So, oh, you know what we'll do? We'll do a little desensitizing. So, I face up, whoa, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna start really slow, because he's pretty fearful. And I'm gonna pet him with it. He's pretty jumpy, so I go slow with him. Most horses, I take it a lot faster, but when they've been hit on a little bit, you kind of gotta slow down. There we go. Pet him. Give him a second. So I also want to give him enough room that if he wants to run around and be scared of it, he can. So, I'm going to take it up a notch, go a little faster. Pet him there. I want it to be predictable and unpredictable. So, the next step is going to be I'm going to try to pet him while walking. So, all we're working on he can walk. So let me give him a little more room because I think he's telling me he doesn't have enough room. He tends to mother up and try to run you over, which is why we do this. And I'll do that if I have to. Because I can desensitize and sensitize at the same time. Good. So all I want is a working walk. I don't want him to trot. I'm not trying to get any faster. I'm just trying to get a working walk. So like I'll push him out. So the way I'm going to push him out is I'm going to walk at him. That's my way of telling him, hey, you're in my space. And then I'm going to pet him. Good. So I'm going to keep him moving a little bit with my feet to help him out, figure out all I want is for him to keep moving. Good. I really like that. I'm just trying to get him more gentle. Good. Give him a break. So I turned off. He turns off. Good boy. The other side, he's probably going to blow up a little more. He's a lot more fearful. He's not trusting on that side. He's a little less broke on that side. So, you know, he might have a little bit of a get upset. He'll be all right. It's a part of the lesson. So, I'm going to switch my rope and my flag. My rope tells him to move that way. I'm going to move him out a little because the biggest thing is I don't want him to kick me because he's scared, right? I'm keeping us both safe. So my hands are telling him to stay out of my space and my feet. Good. Good. And all I'm working on, good, is him not overreacting. If he slows down, that's okay. So I'm getting him to trot because that's how I can keep him going. Just because he's not getting super forward yet. Good. Good. So I give him a break and I stop bothering him. I'm going to get a little aggressive because he's being naughty. Good. So he's bothered, but he's still reacting appropriately, so I take it away. I'm not teaching my horse to not react. Biggest misconception. So this time I'm walking a little more while I'm lunging because I'm doing the whole desensitizing. Good. What I'm trying to teach him, good. So I'm also teaching him that he has to stop with this side of him to me because he doesn't like being on this side, and I want him to learn to be on this side of me. So what I'm trying to teach my horses is not to not react. It is to react appropriately. They're allowed to be scared. They're allowed to run, to worry and hurry away from something. As long as if I'm talking to them, I'm communicating with them, they still listen. You're fine. Nobody's hitting you. That's kind of a little bit of desensitizing, and it goes against the grain of what most people do for desensitizing. That's a big release. That's him letting out that stress. You know, like when you guys go home and you sip a glass of wine, that's him sipping some wine right there. He's like, oh, whew, that was a lot. Yeah, almost every horse I've wanted to keep. Courage, I definitely didn't ever plan on selling, and I did. Marv, I actually I told the owner I'd sell her to her, then I changed my mind, then I told her I would, and I committed to it that time, but I flipped on her multiple times. If I didn't have Marv, I would have kept Noel. This horse I'm not that connected to yet. I like him a lot, okay, I like him, but we don't really click yet, and I think it's because he's still emotionally pretty reserved from the neglect and abuse. He's been taught to not say how he feels, and I'm kind of trying to teach him that he can say how he feels. If he's upset, he's allowed to say, hey, I'm upset, I'm worried, I'm bothered, I'm angry. You just have to respond appropriately. You know, there's a difference between being angry and punching somebody. There's a long way you can go before you hit somebody. And that's kind of what he's learning is he's someone who in anger, he like punches the walls and stuff. He's that person. And he's kind of learning, hey, I can just say I'm really angry and I need a break instead of punching something. It is hard for me. It gets easier, but it also gets harder. So it kind of depends. Horses are really smart. They understand a lot, but they don't understand human concepts, and that's the biggest thing that people mistake. Like, they think that horses, when they go to slaughter, understand that they're gonna die. They don't. They don't understand that until they are actually gone, and by then, they're already gone. Horses don't understand right and wrong. They do things because they are what the horse feels like they need to do, not because they're trying to be naughty or mean, you know? So I haven't given this one an apple yet. I'm kind of giving him a break right now before I go and I think I'm gonna try to hop on him. He's got a little bit of sweat coming off of him, or a little bit of heat coming off of him, not necessarily sweat. But he hasn't had any apples yet just because I haven't brought any for him yet because he's an hour away from me. So I have to drive an hour to come see him. His name is Julio. You can call him whatever you want. I don't care, but it's a boy. And Diamond feels very feminine. Thank you for whoever said be careful because he might kill me. This horse came to me with a major bucking problem and I'm riding him in a bareback pad because I'm crazy, I guess. And he hasn't been worked with in a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I just decided I was gonna try. I don't know. He is really tall though, so it's gonna be fun to get on him. Make sure this is all on there good. He always complains when I tighten it, which makes me laugh because I never put it tight. Like, it's a bareback pad, so it doesn't get, I don't get it very tight because at the end of the day, if he starts bronching in this, I'm just gonna come off. You know what I mean? How tall am I? So I am 5'6" when I stand up straight. So probably like 5'4", 5'5", because most of the time I'm like, but when I stand up straight, I'm 5'6". He is 16 hands, which means 16 times 4. You can do the math. I'm not doing that. Are you gonna buck me off today? Let's find out. I'm gonna go get on him. It's gonna take me a minute because I have to get him to pick me up off the mounting block. And he's still learning that one. So wish us luck, and I'll be right back. Come, Julio. Good boy. Don't worry. Probably gonna be mostly walking since it's a bareback pad and maybe a little trotting this week. Just trying to get you back in shape. Come on, Julio. I'm gonna see. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to read anything because he doesn't know how to pivot or move over to the fence. That's okay. So I won't be able to read anything for a bit, but we managed to get on. We're working on our patience now because he doesn't like to wait and he needs to learn how to wait. He might throw a little tantrum here in a second. You might get to see one of our tantrums. So I have my little crappie bit here, and that's just to see how he does with it because I've never ridden him with one, and I want to see if he'll do better with that than just kicking, because he doesn't like to be kicked on, and I don't blame him. And I'm not going to wear spurs until I have a saddle and I can trust him a little more. So we're just trying new things today. I don't have a lot of experience riding with a crop either, but we'll see how he does. I kind of want to see if I can trot him bareback, but he's also not fully sound. Or he's not fully, he moves weird. He's not sound, but he moves different than a regular horse should because he's pleasure bred. I wouldn't ride him if it wasn't sound, but we'll see. I'm kind of just working on, oh, that's a rock. Well, so the biggest thing I'm working on right now is softening. Good. So there. That's the first time he's actually softened. What I want him to do is soften his face and give to my hand. Oh, cool. Somebody's shooting. I might get dumped. So I've shortened one rein, bump with the outside rein a little bit there, but I'm holding with that inside rein. And all I'm trying to get him to do is to soften to the bit. I might try riding more long ways to see if that gives you more time where you'll be able to see what I'm doing. We'll see. The whole riding with the crop thing is throwing me off a little. We might get to the crop here in about 30 seconds. Working on riding in a straight line, using that crop to help in the turn. There we go. Good boy. Crossing water. I'm a little nervous to try to trot him, only because I don't trust him. We'll see. He might prove to be okay, but I might want to drop the crop because I don't think he's broke enough that I can do this without my hand to help me. We'll see. Good. So I'm just trying to move with him and help him so that I'm not making him uncomfortable. Good. I'm giving him a little more rein so I'm not bugging his face because I don't want to bump him. I touch that outside shoulder to help him through the turn, but other than that, I'm pretty much trying to leave him alone and just let him work his body because I want to help him build strength over the winter so that in the spring he's ready for some lope work, trails, maybe a class, you know, depending on what skill set he's at. He's got a nice trot. I mean, you can tell I'm like sitting comfortably. So there he broke. There. So I just bump him to keep him going. We're going to try to go straight for a little bit. Not let him break down here. He likes to break down here. There we go. So he doesn't want to trot through the water, which is fine. So you can see he's swishing his tail again. So I'm just going to say, wah. So I'm going to make the shh my cue to slow. And we'll see if he picks up on that. And I'm going to give him a break because he's still pretty out of shape. And just, yeah, see, you can tell he's a little out of shape. Let him catch his breath. Work on softening. Work on yielding over, getting off my leg. So I'm going to hold that inside there. I'm on the inside rein, and then give him a little squeeze with the outside rein to try and get him to soften. He's already night and day different from when I first got him. I mean, he can be steered a little bit better. He can be directed. He can be softened a little. Now, I will say his left side is his better side. Because we're on a left circle right now. Man, riding bareback makes my back hurt when I'm trotting. Because I have to sit up and move with the movement, which is good because it makes me actually have to work and use my body. Good. So I'm just kind of letting him relax, come down from it because he gets a little anxious. Good boy. And then another thing that we're working on is our stops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whoa, pull, and all I want is a step backwards. Good. I'm trying to teach him that every time he stops, he's going to back up because that'll make his stop better. Give him a break, let him relax, pat him so he realizes that nobody's going to hit him while he's up here. Another thing we started working on was moving our front quarters and our hind quarters over, but we were doing that on the fence, so we'll see if I can maybe do a little bit of that on the fence, but you might not. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. We can try it in the open. I just don't think he's ready for it. Good boy. I'm going to switch my crop, so I want him to get used to that and realize nobody's going to hit him, so I'll pat him with it. Make him realize, hey, it's okay. You know, like this thing can come up and it's not a big deal. Nobody's going to hit you with it. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm not very good with the crop in my left hand because I'm left-handed. So I am used to steering with my left hand. So this might go badly. But we're going to try to go to the right now. So I'm going to squeeze. Good. And notice how he took that shoulder first. Really like that. So there he bulged through my shoulder. There. Good. Now forward. So what I'm trying to get him to do, okay, is realize he can pivot to change directions. So he can make a tighter turn. There. And when I pull up and have contact, I want a tighter turn. So because I steer mostly with my left, this side's a little less refined. So I'm going to keep practicing it. There. So you'll see him step back, roll his shoulder through, and turn. That's okay. That's how I taught it to him. So sit back, roll the shoulder through, and turn. Because what we're working on is the start of our pivot, and it's a more forward movement. So like he bulges out at the shoulder here. So I just tap him. And I don't want him to panic, so you know, he raises his head, that's him saying I'm a little worried. Good. All we're working on is him realizing that my leg coming on means he needs to move over. Good. Leg comes on, move over. Good. Even that little one step, perfect. All I want is him to start realizing my legs are touching him for a reason. My legs aren't just, they're actually doing something. You know, like this leg comes off, that's opening that door, and then my outside leg comes on, that's me closing that door. It's saying, go that way. Good. And this side, my expectations are pretty low because he doesn't understand it on this side yet. That's okay. He doesn't have to understand everything yet. Now, I don't know if he's going to do well trotting on this side. We're going to try. It might go bad. We might abort mission right away. All I'm doing is I'm bumping him a little with my feet, bumping him a little with the whip, saying, hey, could you pick up speed? He said, yeah, I could, but I can't turn and pick up speed. Okay. Can you pick up speed and turn a little? He said, okay, I could probably do that. Good. All we're working on is building his physical and mental ability. So like right now, he's not got a lot of physical ability. he's been, you know, mishandled and mistreated. So he's got to work on that physical side. That's okay. So he keeps breaking on that side. So I'm going to start bugging him a little bit earlier, just to keep moving. I'm going to start bugging him about now. Say, hey, keep trotting. Keep trotting. There, we made the turn. Good boy. Leave him alone. And I'm going to break him to a walk because he's not very fit. And he's less fit on this side. He has a lot of asymmetry in his body because he was mistreated and hee-hawed around. So this side still has a lot of work on that softening that we talked about. So what I'm doing is pushing him off of my foot. So he's pushing there. He pushed into my foot, so I had to keep kicking him there. And all I'm trying to get him to do is to separate it and figure out to put his head down a little there and soften his face to the bit. All I'm doing is trying to soften his face and get him to realize he doesn't have to be so high-headed and so hard on the bit. So like he's pretty hard on the bit. There. So I didn't want to go off my right leg. He didn't want to go out to the left off my right leg because he thinks that I'm crazy. There. All I'm trying to do is get a little softer. He doesn't want to soften to this right side. He thinks, nope, I can't do it. I can soften to the left, but I can't to the right. And I'm teaching him, hey, both sides could be soft. Both sides. So that left side is giving him a squeeze to say, hey, come off my hand. Hey, come off my hand. And if he can't figure it out, I'm going to harden both hands until he backs off. There. So he doesn't understand backing yet either, which is why we have to kind of go slow with it. And then I'll squeeze him forward. There. All I'm trying to get him to do is to find a release. There is a release in there. He has to find it. So I harden that inside rein, and I bump with that outside rein. There. And all I'm trying to get him to do is to relax and soften. He doesn't want to go around on this side very much, does he? So we're going to spend more time on this side because it's the weaker side. So like here, he's bulging into the camera. So I pull up. There. That's me. When I pull up like this, that's me saying stop forward, move sideways. And then I'll help him with the forward. Good. And then I might switch my turn, but I'm not switching my whip because I'm going to go back. There. So see? I'm softening him, softening him, softening him. There, releasing him. Then I'm going to turn, and I'm going to help him with that whip on the outside there. Just help him make that turn. There. First time you didn't stop in the turn. We're just working on a lot of low and slow, trying to get him to where he's going to be ready for a little more advanced stuff. But physically, he can't handle trotting for long periods of time. Good. You can tell he was a Western pleasure horse because if you seesaw him, he'll put his head down, and that's not okay. So, we're going to trot a little. Easy. Going to make sure we make that turn. Going to keep him moving with my body. So I might look a little rough on this side. It's because I'm trying to push him through and keep him moving. Good. Keep him moving. Good. So this side, he needs almost constant encouragement to keep moving, especially there. He wants to cut out on that turn. So once he stops trying to cut out, I'll give him a break. But he has to make a circle where I don't have to constantly bump and whip on him a little bit because he's just being real lazy. Because he thinks if he's lazy, he can get away with it. Good. There, I gave him a little harder tap because eventually he's gonna have to realize there's a consequence. So I slowed my body, he slows his body. I kind of sat down a little, slowed my body, and he came down. He's gonna learn to read my body. And then eventually through that, we'll see if I can get close enough where I can read. It looks like it's mostly emojis right now. So move over, not backwards. There. Oh, the crazy neighbors are out. I don't see anything. Watch me get farted off. Good boy. You're okay. It's pretty cold and wet right now. How long have we been going? I have no idea. Probably 30 minutes at best. We'll see. Good job, buddy. So now we'll work a little on our backing and seeing if we can't get him to start. There. That's the first time he's backed pretty, there. Good. See, he's starting to realize that if my feet go forward and I squeeze, I want him to back up. So I give him a break because he's doing the lick and chew. Good job. And then forward and squeeze. Gonna add a little hand because he didn't get it. There. Forward and squeeze. Add a little hand. Good. Forward and squeeze. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start this. And what I want is for him to move somewhere. Good. So he didn't step, but you saw him lean back. That's because he realized that he needed to move somewhere and he actually chose the right direction. So, back. Good. Leave him alone. Sounds like geese are being killed over there. So, I'm gonna tell him to back up. So I'm sitting backwards. I'm exaggerating it because I'm bareback. So because I'm bareback, I have more mobility. When I'm in the saddle, I'll be able to go about there and start flapping. But here, I'm bareback. That was a really good boy. That was a really good choice. But because I'm bareback, I can put my feet up around his chest almost and say, hey, get back. I'm gonna leave him alone. Give him a minute to rest, give him a minute to process. I'm still gonna use my reins because I want him to learn to soften off of my reins, but I want him to also move off my seat. And part of moving off my seat is that if I twist a certain way, if one leg comes off and one leg comes on, he needs to move to find the answer. But also if I sit and I say, hey, so here I'm squeezing, I'm kicking, I'm getting a little harder, good. And all I'm looking for is one correct step. Oh, I'll leave him alone, he licked and chewed. He's thinking, he's like, okay, it starts with squeezing, sitting back, and then she starts kicking me for some reason. So, I have my hands ready to help if he chose to go forward. But I'm gonna sit back, put my feet forward. Look at that, didn't have to kick. He started thinking backwards. The more you reward little tries, the less and less work you're gonna have to do. Like when you're teaching a horse to lower their head, if you don't reward them until their head's really low, they don't learn much. You need to reward every time their head softens. And we should do that on the ground, actually. We should work on that on the ground too, but I haven't. So, I'm gonna sit, squeeze, wiggle, kick. He needs to go somewhere, good. Leave him alone, pet him. He's a good boy. Now, I don't want him to think that every time I kick it's to go backwards. So I'm gonna sit forward, I'm gonna sit up and squeeze. He's like, okay. He's like, everything means backwards now. So, I don't get upset. I give him a teeny little bump and say, hey, that wasn't what I wanted, but I appreciate it. And I just encourage forward instead of backwards. So now we'll work on trying to move our shoulders over a little bit. So we gotta get some forward for that. And I'm gonna go down here, and then I'm gonna sit, and I'm gonna turn. off, my hands are saying don't go forward. Good. Now I want a full half turn, so I need him to not go forward. Good. There. That was a big shake. I was ready for him to shake harder. So then I leave him alone. Good. Take him back down here. Sit. Whoa. Go back. Good. Leave him alone for a second. Move the front end through. Good. Forward. Head. Whoa. Sit back. Good. Pivot. Good. Sit back. So I want him to back up. So I'm waiting for him to find the answer. There. All I wanted was a backward step. Now we move the shoulder through again. Good. Shoulder through again. There, he got a little frustrated. He thought about throwing tantrum. Back up. Good. Shoulder through. Good. Leave him alone. Pet him. Even if he's good. We're going to back again. Whoa. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. He might try to go forward. There. Pet him, leave him alone. That was a big change for him because he wanted to go forward, and then he kind of got a little worried, and then he went back. We're trying to get him to realize he has responsibility for where he walks. He has responsibility for where his feet goes. He has responsibility for his actions. So, back, back. Good. You can see he's getting frustrated. Good. I'm always ready for that big shake. Give him a break. I'm going to come up to the camera so I can see, because I think somebody has left maybe a real comment. So he's getting stressed. He just thinks he knows the answer. So I'm going to do the hard side and see if I can come towards the camera. There. So I never want him to have the upper hand and think he knows where we're going. Hey, that's the first time that's ever worked. Good job. Good job. I know, what is that? That's my phone. He said, what is that? So I'm trying to get him to learn to come up to the fence. Whoa. And that's the first time he's ever done it. So I'm gonna leave him alone, pet him, and see what you guys have to say. What are you trying to do? So I'm trying to work on moving his front end over. Yeah, I do remember you, Airsoft player. How are you? So I'm working on him moving his front end over because I want to be able to move any part of his body at any time. So that's what I'm working on there. And then I'm also working on backing up because he's not very good at backing up. And we worked on trotting circles for a little bit. I know I have bad service out here because it keeps jumping. So hopefully you guys can actually see what's going on. But he's being like really, really good today. I'm really happy with him. We're just trying to get him a little more fit and a little less lazy because he's pretty lazy. So I'm gonna switch my whip to this side. Good boy. And then I have a little keeper on it. And then grab my reins and just squeeze to go forward. Good. And relax. So we're just continuing to work on softening. Good. Good. He's really getting good at the softening on this side, other than being naughty about his shoulders there, which is okay. So we're gonna squeeze, sit back, squeeze, squeeze. So what we're looking for is for him to back. So that tells me my reins are a little too long, which I am a chronic, I do that a lot. I keep my reins too long because I'm trying to give him his space. There, sit back. There, And don't let him fool you. He's wearing a snaffle. He's wearing one of the lightest bits that a horse can wear. Because I don't believe in using a strong bit to teach. I believe in teaching behavior and using a stronger bit when you're ready to get them softer and do less with them, actually. But he likes to act like he's got the harshest bit ever in his face, and he's actually got one of the softest ones that you can do. And when we go back to the barn, I'll show it off. I'll show you the tack he's in, since we're already here. I'm hoping that some of this has been on camera, but maybe not. We'll see. I'll rewatch some of this later and see what's visible and what's not. Good. So I'm trying to teach him to move off my legs and pay a little more attention. Good. Just be a little softer, be a little rounder, be a little more accountable. It'd be great if I had better service, but it is what it is. And then we're gonna stop, and I'm gonna back him up, and we'll hop off. So, whoa. Okay, that was pretty good. Back. So I did put a little pressure there. I put a little pressure on those reins, not a lot. Switch my whip over. I'm gonna take my reins, grab his mane, slide off. Good. Very good. You did awesome today. And that, my friends, is our first ride in 2 weeks. So this is Julio. You can ask any questions you want. Ask away. I keep smelling fire. And I don't know if the creepy neighbors are burning stuff or what. But you can ask whatever you want. Good boy. He's very tired. That was a lot for him mentally. He's not even very warm. But this is Julio. He's a 4-year-old appendix quarter horse. I am pretty much just restarting him from scratch as though he's never been ridden because he was so badly trained and he's got so many bad habits. I'm gonna try to, I think the only thing left that I have is his halter. So what I'll do is I'll grab you guys and bring you guys along. We'll see how that goes. So it's gonna be blurry. Oh, my phone's not all the way in. Give me a sec. New setup, trying to figure out how to get you guys settled. Okay, can you see? No. Why can't you see? Why doesn't it want to let you in? Okay. Hold that. Oh. It's because of this seat. Okay. I got it. So you guys are going to be really blurry while I take you in. It's going to freak out on me the whole way. And then I'll hang you on the fence. Oh, dude, are you now, Dusty? Come, Julio. Yeah, we'll take you back to the barn, and I gotta let the other horses in, so that might be a bit of a challenge with, they are mean to Julio, so I gotta figure out how to get Julio in safely without being attacked, and I've got to switch him into his halter really fast, so hold please. Let's see. Alright, buddy. Surprisingly good job today. We worked on a lot of stuff. Call me Shaft. Call me Turner. Release. Thank you. Release. Thank you. Halter. Halter. There we go. Okay. Take these off. Grab my bridle. Grab you. And you guys. Okay. You're gonna have to back up, Julio. Figure it out. There we go. He's like, I don't know. Yeah, you gotta use your brain still. Brain is still on the clock, okay? The brain is still on the clock. Okay. I wish it weren't so foggy. I'm gonna have to find a different rig. But problems for another day. Okay. El Nino Julio. Turn. Okay, set you guys there. Wrap your rope. And welcome back. I'm gonna try to change this. I'm working on it, okay? I've never used this setup before. I'm trying to make it so that I can take you guys with me, but it's a little bit difficult. Oh no. Oh no. Just for a second. But there we go. It's not an ideal setup, but at least now I can untack him and then bring horses up and feed them. Okay, I don't need my helmet anymore. I think I'll be safe. I don't think you're gonna take me out yet. Oh man, Gotham's coming. So, breast collar first. Just remember, he can't hurt you. You're on this side, he's on that side. You're fine. Rude. He's like, no, not ready. I'll finish untacking my horse first and then deal with getting them fed. Okay. This is one of the only times you'll see me do that stupid Texas teat garbage, is putting tack away. Because if you need that for the saddle itself, I'm not a fan. It just creates unnecessary bulges. Look at that. You're done. feeding you. I know you guys are going to be pissed off. Kitty, go in your room. Go in your room. Trying to do this alone, not easy. Okay. The only one who needs water, it looks like, is my guy, I think. Maybe. Benny's good. Hey. Okay. The only one who needs water is my guy. Oh, I'm working on it. Gingy. I can only go so fast. Okay. We'll quell the heathen animals, at least until I can get out here. Okay. Hey, for you, Julio. I'm gonna give you more than that, but bam, bam, Gotham Mini, hey. Okay. You and you. Fine, see that way. Okay, and this one. Okay. Miss Minnie. And then that's good for you. Let me give Julio just a little more, and then I will start Minnie's pellets soaking. This. Don't kick me, thank you. Okay. Gonna put you guys back. Oh my guy. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the riding live. I don't know. It was high requested, and I'm gonna keep doing them. I gotta go make dinner for horses, so I'll be going through the house now. Yay! I'll be back, Julio. Be a good boy. Gonna lock my truck. Ah, look, I just cleaned my truck and it already is filthy. Wonderful. Lock it. Okay, let's go make some warm mushiness for the old mare. So far, I haven't seen any of my usual people. I'm kind of sad. I did this live for them and none of y'all are here. But that's okay. I'd like to go back to doing regular videos, but I gotta have somebody who can record for me, and that may end up being my boyfriend. We'll see. But now you get to join the part of the live where we feed the horses. We worked horses for an hour. Now we're gonna spend probably an hour feeding them. Okay. Okay, we entrez-vous, feed them, let dogs out, feed dogs, all that jazz. Hello. Y'all missed the riding portion of the live. Okay. What are you doing now? Down here? Are you breaking things? Go. No. Go. Stop. 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 I can't even get up here because you guys won't move. Okay. Stop. Okay. Yeah, my phone's about to die, so that's great. Stop it. You guys are awful. Okay. This out. Put you two out. Come here. Stop. Stop it. So difficult. Okay. Part one. Now, to go feed our feed to then feed. I don't know. Oh, look, muck boots in the sink. How fun. And no bucket. Cool. Okay. Stay. I think this is the hot water. My channel is a horse training channel. Right now it's like a horse rescue channel, but like my current horse is a rescue and stuff, and the barn I work at has mostly raised and does therapy. But yeah, it's mostly horse related content. Yeah, I am in Michigan right now. Okay. I don't know how you knew that unless you've seen my lives before. I guess that's probably what it is. Most people just don't pay attention and ask me like 12 times. They're like, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? I'm like, look, I've answered this question 12 times. Okay, this is not going to be fun to take out, but that's okay. Yes, Forrest, can I help you? Okay, got you. I might have overfilled it. Forrest, I don't think you want the fancy horse green tea. Okay, feeding the doggies. Scoot, cat. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, she's not gonna like that. And I don't blame her. Okay. Forrest, you are not gonna fool me. You've been fed. Okay, gonna let dogs in. I do have my own horses. Oh, really? I'm in Cassopolis right now. Thanks, Forrest. Love you too. All right, one of you two. Because this one takes the bowl away. Give me a second. Hey, Forrest! I guess you're getting a really up close view. Forrest! Okay. Wait for the dogs to eat. And then, I mean, you saw his face, right? Forrest. And also he's not my cat. This is my friend's house. I'm tired. I'm tired. I want to go home. He is cute. But yeah, maybe I'll go live later and we'll do another live and talk about stuff. The cat is, again, the star of the show. Forrest, are you trying to eat my phone? Muffin? What are you doing? Well, yeah, because I've spent the past 80 minutes live riding my horse, working my horse, talking about my horse, and so I'm a little exhausted. Forrest, I love you too, but stop. Again, not my dog, it's my friend's dog. All right. This. Oh, he's still eating. I'm a prisoner right now. I have to wait for the other dog to finish eating. Can I? How did I mute it? Can you hear me now? Hi guys, sorry. I don't know how I did that. I must have muted it when I picked it up because of the cat, or the cat muted it. But I'm probably gonna try to go live later. But we'll see. Forrest, you're over here acting like you don't get attention 24/7, 365. I know your cute little butt does. But yeah, maybe I'll just end the live now because all I'm gonna do is go finish feeding horses and make feed. And I'm a little worried my phone's gonna die. Do you guys want to see me feed horses or no? Dog, stop. It's a doggy. Comment in the chat. Do you want to see me feed horses? Hey, where are you at? Come here. I'm gonna go with I must still be muted or Nobody's interacting. Hey, stop. You are being annoying and rude. Thank you. Okay. See if I can figure out how to open the garage. I never know how. Bam. Bam. Darkness, darkness. Okay, well, nobody's watching, so I'm gonna go with nobody cares. So I'm gonna go with nobody wants to see feeding the horses live, which is fine because it's not really that exciting. I'm trying not to fall down the stairs. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. That took me too long to figure out. Back to the barn. I'm trying to bet the horses are banging the gates and mad at me. Oh, they are. We went from a lot of people in the chat to nobody. Crazy. I think probably 6 o'clock is when everybody's headed home from work is my guess. But I don't know. I also think I've just now stopped doing all the interesting content and none of my regular people are on right now, which is a bummer because I did this live with them in mind. But I might do more. We'll see. But I think I'm almost done. I just have to my horses walk. Hey, bum! I see food left in. So, put you here for right now. Bam! Bam! Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. We got it all out. Miss Minnie. Bam. Bam. Mix it in a little bit. Na. Okay. Take that to Miss Minnie. Welcome in, peeps. Don't kick me. What? Yeah, you would. I forgot. Okay. Gingy. Enjoy the door. And Gotham. Okay, so we'll do the whole feeding live again, because why not? And then I'm going to go do water and be done. We'll go over all of the supplements I give him and why I give them. He is currently the Triumph 812 feed, just because it was cheap and decently calorically valuable. So I have 3 little bins so that it's easy for the person that owns the barn to come out and feed horses in the morning. I pre-make some feed for him. So I just put in however much grain I think I can fit with whatever supplements he's getting at the time. Right now they're all powder, so I can fit more grain. And yes, he does get different size grain containers. He's fine. I know there's people who are like feed crazy fanatics who are like, oh, it has to be the same time, blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't. He's fine. So let's talk supplements on what he's getting. We'll start with this one. Ulcerade, really, really cheap. One of the cheapest supplements to help prevent ulcers or protect against. It was also another supplement that I had gotten that I had tried when I had blue. I don't remember what it was. I just threw it in this bin because some animal got into it. And so I was just putting it in a bin that the animals couldn't get into. Next is just fancy MSM. Good old MSM. This is for joints and all that good stuff to keep his joints healthy because he needs support. I love how there's only 3. So, MSM, done. He's also getting an XLEQ that goes on the day of because it's an oil and it will make the food go bad if you put it on early. He's getting this, which is a selenium and vitamin E supplement because we think he might have either EPM or just a vitamin E deficiency, and we're waiting on the vets to come out and get some tests done. So he's been getting a vitamin E supplement, and I do feel like it's made quite a difference. And last but not least, a supplement I've been trying. I'll show you the bag in a minute, but I'm trying to do this quickly. I only give them, so I have a pretty small scoop in here. I don't know how much it is. It doesn't say how much it is. But it's a pretty small scoop, and I give him anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 scoop of it. It is organic seaweed, and I got recommended this by the person that bought Marvel. She gives it to them because it helps their hair and their hooves, because their hair and their hooves are both made of keratin. And so naturally it's going to help both. And I've been giving him this for now, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. I'm just trying it to see if I feel like this is a good enough supplement for his feet. It also has several benefits for people. It is human grade. I'll show you the packaging. Give me just a second. I'm locking this up so that the mice can't get it. And I'm going to take this one home so that no mice eat the packaging because it is sealed. But that's the seaweed supplement that he's getting. And I got to remember to take that home with me tonight because I had meant to take it home and I didn't. And that is dinner for my guy. I'd like to get him some electrolytes, but I haven't bought any yet because I already spent a lot of money on this horse, and you know, he'll live. He's got multiple salt licks out there. I'm trying to do it all right and help him out because he was so badly cared for. But let's see. There we go. Okay, that was the right lead. And then I just kind of shake it so it gets on all the grain a little bit because, you know, you have so many powders. Normally I'll put the powder in first, but I'm a little worried it'll only be in the bottom then. And so I'm trying to like mix it, and then you can see, I mean, there's powder coated on this thing. But I'm just trying to, you know, coat them all because that seaweed, I'm not entirely sure if he enjoys eating. Hey, ding dong. There's some more grain. Ding dong ditch. So, there you go. That is feeding for them. He's like, Here, so nobody steals it. Okay, don't kick me. Thank you. This up here to protect my saddle. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the live because nobody's watching. Have a good night. Thanks to anyone who watched, and maybe I'll live later. Probably not. Bye.